The hottest topic in the small business community is the focus of today's show, the PPP and other relief programs, with not just some guy that thinks they know what they're talking about. The Wisconsin District Director of the Small Business Administration is our guest today, Eric Ness. Ness, ready for your questions? Get them ready, and let's get ready for the answers that you need. Welcome to the Idea Collective Live, the weekly meeting of small business owners everywhere. I'm your host, Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. This is a live show, and it's home on the Idea Coach Network, anchored on the Idea Collective YouTube page. So if you're on YouTube, click subscribe. That means you won't miss any future videos or any of the other goodies that we post there on the page. But we want you to be a part of the show. And what's cool, even though we're on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch and YouTube all at the same time, our chat is unified across the network. So if you have a question for Eric Ness, we get Eric Ness today. This is the day to get your PPP questions answered. Get them into the chat, and we will include them in the interview. Let's thank our sponsors, and boy, are we really excited about them. Bank 59 has been our partner. Serendipity Labs has been our partner. But check this out. What? Quick Trip is our new partner for Idea Collective Live. We are so excited to have a partnership established with Quick Trip. We'll tell you all about how that's going to be great for you later on in the show. And of course, the Idea Collective for small business owners. Also later in the show, there's a giant partnership that just launched today between Bank 59 and FM 106, one of the biggest radio stations in Milwaukee. They're on the airwaves looking to salute women-owned businesses in the month of March. So we have Shannon from the morning show, and we have Jeff McCarthy from Bank 59 to come on and tell us more about it. But first, the man of the hour, the guy that I'm so excited to interview, Eric Ness is our guest. Eric is the Wisconsin District Director of the Small Business Administration. Eric, it's great to see you. How is your Monday so far?
It's very busy. As you can tell, working on a lot of loans and working with some program changes just to help some more small business. So we're very excited to be here to kind of talk with you on what's going on with the SBA.
It's fantastic to have you. And when you look all around what the number one question is in the small business community, everybody wants to know about what's going on with PPP. For many of us, it saved us. I mean, straight up saved us in 2020. Now the second round is here, and some big changes have been announced. I'm sure you've been asked this question a lot, but can you just kind of recap what some of those big headline changes were in the second round of PPP?
Well, first off, we started off the year with using farmers could use their gross income, which actually worked well in the farming community. And now we have rolled that over, and that'll be going into effect this week, where we can use sole proprietors, independent contractors can access the gross income for the PPP off their Schedule C. We're still coming up with the documentation on that. That's planned to come through this week, and we're expecting to see a flood of loan applications coming in. Because as you know, a lot of times when you're a small business, you've got depreciation, you've got expenses, and a lot of times the net income was low. And so converting that to gross income will allow a lot of sole proprietors to be able to get a PPP loan that could not before.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting to dig into. And just hearing you say that really has me thinking, because I know some of the folks in the Idea Collective community thought that they weren't eligible because Q2 over Q2 in the previous year wasn't exactly 25% as the difference as it was originally stated. So just for the clarity of the group, can you restate what you just said one more time? Because I'm not sure, I know that I don't fully understand it, but I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I want to make sure everybody gets it. Can you reshare that one more time?
So yeah, the big change that's going on this week is that we are going to base your calculations for PPP on gross income as opposed to net income. And that caused a lot of small businesses who had very low net income. It didn't even make sense to go through a PPP program. Now they are going to have access to it. On PPP 1, of course, it's 500 employees and less, and that's in effect right now. And then we have PPP 2, that's in effect right now also. And I think you were talking a little bit about PPP 2, where it's now 300 employees or less, except for last Wednesday, starting February 24th through March 9th, we are only taking exclusive applications from small businesses with 20 employees or less. So specifically, we're targeting that group. After March 9th, the larger businesses can come in through the end of the month, March 31st, which is the end of the program. And I think on PPP2, you had mentioned the 25%, and basically that's still in place, where you have to show a net, your gross income was down by 25% quarter to quarter as you compare 2019 and 2020. So that's still in effect. But a couple other things that has gone in effect too is if you had a past felony and it's a non-financial fraud felony, you would be, and you're in your small business, you would be eligible for the PPP. Also, we saw a number of folks who may have had delinquent student loan accounts and that weren't eligible for PPP. That now is changed, so you would be eligible for a PPP loan. And then the last big change is if you didn't have an EIN or a TIN number, we are now allowing individual taxpayer identification numbers, ITIN, which are for people who wouldn't be able to or did not have a social security number. So those are quite a few changes that have come in to help a lot more small businesses be able to get access to the program.
With this exclusive window that's in place and this flood of changes, obviously we don't know, but would you be surprised if the window was extended past March 31st?
Right now, the best advice I can give is figure March 31st just to make sure that your loan applications get in. Interesting to look at what is happening with these changes. And we were just kind of looking at the numbers today. And from a national perspective, 92% of our loans that have been coming in under this PP2 and PPP1 since January are for 20 employees or less, which is about 47% of our total dollar volume. So we are being able to kind of pivot and get to those smaller businesses, which is what we're focused on right now.
Another thing that I think gets lost in the shuffle is if someone didn't participate in PPP1, they could still participate in that as well, as long as they're done by March 31st. Is that right?
Correct. So PPP, we opened up PPP1, PPP2. They're both open right now. And so if you didn't get into PPP1, you'd follow the rules from PPP1, which doesn't have the reduction in the 25% per quarter. So you can basically just get your PPP1 in now. And then if you do have your PPP1 and the money is out and your cover period is over, then you can come in with a PPP2. The covered period can be, and that's the period of when you're going to pay down or make the payments for your employees. That would be, it can either be 8 weeks or up to 24 weeks, but they can't overlap. So I think right now, since we're the 1st of March, if you don't have your PPP1, you can still get it, but you're not going to be able to get your PPP2.
Yeah, that's great. So this is a terrific opportunity for the Idea Collective community. Eric Ness, Wisconsin District Director for the Small Business Administration, is joining us today. And I have a ton of questions. I'm sure you have a ton of questions. Get them in the chat, and we will squeeze in as many questions as we can in the time that we have with Eric, because he's busy saving small business in the state. So I'm glad that we have him today, but we'll get as many questions in as we can. A question that we had come in, Jennifer from Milwaukee wants to know, if they've applied on PPP2 using the old formula, now there's this newer formula on Schedule C, will there be a way to kind of get the extra dollars that would be there, or will there be guidance on that?
Yes, there is going to be guidance, and that's really a good point in that things are changing. In fact, just before I jumped on this call, I was on another call, and they were talking about getting the guidance out. And so we're hopeful that the plan is that this information is going to be out this week. And so get on our sba.gov website, email us at at Wisconsin at SBA.gov, just so that we can keep getting you the information, and we'll get information to you also, so that as those changes come out, you can then use them in your on your loan. Now, the question is, on if you had a loan and it was already dispersed, it might be a problem. But if it's not fully dispersed, I think we can take a look at that. But like I said, we're going to get more information out this week.
So if we're looking for information on the regulations as they come through, would that be SBA.gov, or is there a different website you direct us to?
Yes, that would be SBA.gov. It will be on there. I'm just going to mention you can sign up for our e-news, and basically we're running e-news probably on almost a daily basis as changes take place. So sign up on www.sba.gov/updates so you can get the updates of what's going on. We're also at SBA _Wisconsin on Twitter. And basically get on our website at www.sba.gov/WI. That's just our website, and we're running sessions. But again, I would really highly recommend to get on to sba.gov/updates, so you're getting the updates as we're getting them out, so that you have the information to make your decisions.
No, that's a great service. Thank you for that. How do you think forgiveness is going? Are you satisfied with what you're hearing from the forgiveness process with small businesses?
So I just looked at the numbers last week. I think I did a session. We were at 31% of our loans were forgiven. We're at about 34% today. Of course, the changes for forgiveness under 150,000 is in place with less documentation. However, the caveat is, if something comes up, we will contact the lender to get more information. But I've talked to a number of lenders. I talked to one lender making a lot of small loans, and he had gotten all of his loans forgiven. So we are seeing forgiveness coming through. The numbers are going up. If you're having questions, give us a call, or probably talk to your lender, because your lender's on top of it. And of course, we're working with them to make sure that you get your loans forgiven.
I'm sure you were really popular when the debate was going around about taxable nature of PPP. Now, the PPP is not taxable at the federal level. And now in Wisconsin, has it been passed and signed that it's not going to be taxable at the state level too? Is that right?
That's what I saw. Yep, that's what I saw. And so that's a really positive thing for small businesses. And I was happy to see when I saw they weren't, and then I saw that they were moving it to that they would be able to not be taxable. I thought that was a great opportunity for small businesses.
Yeah, that's a huge relief, a big win for many of us that aren't raking in the big bucks. We've got some questions that are rolling in the chat. So if you've got them, get them in there, because we don't have Eric for long. But this is a chat that's coming from one of our Facebook users, and they're not being anonymous. It just doesn't pull their name. Any forgiveness on the horizon for EIDL loans under 150 grand? Have you heard anything like that?
Good question. And one of the things that has happened is the EIDL Advance program, which was a grant loan, which was up to was like $1,000 per employee. They are relooking at that, and especially in stressed areas, they're looking at increasing that up to $10,000. If you're in that category, you don't have to apply. We will be sending you information about increasing the grant portion of the EIDL Advanced. Now moving to where the question was on the $150,000 or up to $150,000 EIDL loan. That program has been around for many, many years, and unfortunately, it is not going to be converted into a grant at this point. So basically, that is a loan. One of the things that I think you need to keep in touch with us is we started doing EIDL loans the end of March. And so, and of course, you had a 1-year deferment on that. So keep in touch with us and make sure you update with us, and because there might be some more information coming out specifically on that program.
Fingers crossed. That would be a nice surprise. All right. So, outside of the PPP program, because of its urgency, there are a lot of things that the Small Business Administration does in addition to that. What are some other options that are out there that we don't hear as much about or you'd like to share?
So we have two other programs that we're going to get more information. One is the shuttered venues, and that isn't out there yet, but that's for venues that have been shut down, music venues, that type of thing. We will be getting more information on that. That's a grant program, and as soon as that information comes out, we will be releasing that. The next program is more of our standard SBA program, which is our 7A loans up to 150,000, or I'm sorry, loans up to 5 million that we work with our local lenders. We have a 504 program that is for fixed assets that is a wonderful program where we're selling loans on the secondary market for like 2 or 3, or about 3%, and fixed for 20 to 25 years. And then we have a micro lending program of loans up to 50,000. So those three programs exist, they're in place. And one of the things that is happening with them is we're increasing the guarantee percentages on the 7A program. Typically it's 75%, we can go up to 90%. And basically the big thing is if the loan to get approved before the end of the year, there's a chance of a pretty good chance of us making your loan payments for up to 3 months. So basically, if you had an SBA loan with us last year, we were making loan payments of up to 6 months on 7A, 504, and micro loans. Now we are looking at the making of payments for loans after February 1st approved. And so we're in the process of looking at that program. So it's a wonderful program if you're looking at adding, actually interesting, I was just looking at our numbers. We've had 100 businesses start up so far this year. So people are looking at, finding opportunities. This is a great opportunity of working with your local lender, getting an SBA loan. Loan in place and having the opportunity to have a couple months of payments made.
So I have to tell you just for a second, the Idea Collective community that you're addressing today is made up of small business owners in Wisconsin and around the country. And we're actually not participating in the PPP as much as some others because many of us did so well that we're not eligible. So this group has really dug in and collaborated with one another to continue to grow our businesses even during the downturn. So there's one little candle of little light out there of small business owners that are really doing well. And I'm really proud of the community. They've really banded together, and the chance to have us get a chance to talk to you is really fantastic. We have a few more questions that need to come in real quick if you have time. Pat from Appleton wants to know, when your loan says, and I'm sure you've heard this before, when your loan on the website says under SBA review, is there a way to get more detail on what's going on and when we might hear something about it?
So basically under PPP1, we didn't put a lot of checking into the loans and some verifications. We were basically putting the loans out as quickly as possible. What we've done under PPP2 and PPP1 after in 2021 is we've actually done some verification because unfortunately we ran into some fraud issues and we wanted to make sure the people we're doing the loans to are actually the people that need the money. And so that's what's happening when you're seeing some holds on the project where they're under review. So we're doing some checking with credit services and entities like that, just to make sure that you are who you say you are. Because unfortunately, we found a number of times where we had a little bit of fraud that we did not want and that the small business didn't want. So it's better for us to do the double checking up front. So that's what you're seeing. Also, it's a good point that when you're getting an email from us, make sure it's from sba.gov and not from any other entity. We've had some issues with other entities saying they're from the SBA. So make sure it's from sba.gov.
So, last question that I have, you've got a chance to address a bunch of small business owners right now. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you're thinking, man, I wish everybody knew this? Because you're talking to us right now, and I'm sure you've got great things that we haven't covered so far. Is there anything else?
Well, I think just kind of connecting with our regular programs, our 7A, 504, and micro. I mean, those are some great programs to grow your businesses, and I think an opportunity to connect on some of those programs, and especially with the opportunity of maybe getting up to your 3 months of your loans paid, is a great way of expanding or getting a little more working capital if you're needing it. So take advantage of that. This doesn't come around that much. Higher guarantee. We're paying the guarantee fees, so it's a great opportunity to grow that business with that program.
It's fantastic. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your time today. Would love to have you back sometime because I know that this community made up of small business owners was hanging on every word. Eric Ness, the Wisconsin director of the Small Business Administration. Hey, thank you so much, Eric. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Wow. Okay. So there you go. You wanted answers? We've got answers. What a treat. That was great to talk to Eric today. And thank you for your questions. And hopefully you got the information that you need. And during the conversation, some questions came up of, hey, do you know a bank that we can work with? Let me think of one. We can connect you with our resources for sure inside the Idea Collective community. All right. So there's a very exciting thing that got launched today, and we are going to talk about it. Joining us right now from FM 106 and from Bank 59. We've got some of our friends to tell us about a brand new promotion that launched on air. This is a way for women in business in Milwaukee to be recognized. So joining us, Jeff McCarthy from Bank 59 and Shannon from the Ritter, Scott and Shannon Morning Show, 5 to 10 a.m. on FM 106.1. Shannon, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. So how was the show this morning? I didn't get a chance to hear the whole thing. How was it?
Show this morning was great. We obviously launched the campaign and it was a lot of fun. It's nice to actually see Pat and Jeff because I talked to them on the phone and you guys are awesome people. So it's nice to actually be able to see your faces. But this is a really, really cool campaign that I'm excited to talk about.
Yeah, it's exciting to do. So tell us all about it, how it works, and what we can look forward to.
Well, since March is Women's History Month, we're very excited to partner up with Bank 59 and the Idea Collective. So we're trying to find some local female-owned business in the area to give them a chance to kind of boost their business and potentially get some mentorship from the Idea Collective. So what we're looking for are people to nominate their favorite female-owned businesses within southeastern Wisconsin, and then they might get a chance to get that one-year membership to the Idea Collective.
It sounds great. How long does it go? How long are the nominations open? Do you know?
I believe until March 19th.
Okay, so, March 19th.
Yes, but all throughout March is Women's History Month. So we'll be trying to promote those businesses as well that come in.
It's a great promotion, and thank you for doing it. And Jeff, it's great to see you again. Tell us about Bank 59's involvement and why you're passionate about this program.
Huge part of what we do here is our mission to make lives better. We want to support small businesses, shine a light on them, and help them grow. For me personally, I've got 2 daughters at home, one who is looking for a summer job and has already started looking for women-owned businesses that she can go work for this summer. They're such a driving part of our economy, and what better time than now to highlight them and to give them some extra publicity on an awesome radio station. So it's just part of, really it fits in so well with what we already do here. It's just an honor to be part of it.
And if I understand it right, Shannon, you're running on-air promotions right now, highlighting women in business, locally in business, telling their stories and encouraging people to register. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be promoting these businesses as they come in because we too at the radio station want to learn about these businesses as well. So this is a great way for us to kind of experience and navigate all these small locally owned businesses by females too as we're celebrating Women's History Month. And then we'll be promoting those on air. And you never know, Quinn is our afternoon girl who you hear on your drive home from work. He has this thing called Women Crushing It Wednesday. She likes to feature local business owners on there. And we get to see these businesses live and in action, whether they're on our social media pages, they're being nominated on the website form. And this is a great way for us to engage with them too, as well as our listeners. So it's a great way to kind of broaden everybody's horizons and increase that awareness for, I mean, Milwaukee in general is awesome for these small businesses. This is the culture that we kind of cultivated within our community, and this is the time for it to shine.
So if you're not quite clear on how this all pulls together and why the Idea Collective is involved, so FM 106 is inviting people to tell us about women-owned small businesses, and then one business per week will win an annual membership to the Idea Collective. So not only will FM 106 and Bank 59 go find these women-owned small businesses, but then one per week is going to be welcomed into the community on a 12-month membership for free, thanks to Bank 59. So it's a tremendous program. Jeff, this is just another great way that you're making lives better. You just have to feel great about this.
We do. You know, I look out my office window right down Wisconsin Avenue in Oconomowoc, and I can see 3 or 4 women-owned businesses right out my window here, and they're remarkable. And like all small businesses, the pivoting, the initiatives that have had to go on to survive and thrive over the last year is really, really impressive. And inspiring. And again, anything that we can do to help support the small business community, we're honored to do it, and to work with the great folks at FM 106 and really blow this up big. We're excited, and obviously, Pat, your members gain so much from being part of the Idea Collective that if we can get 3 more women-owned businesses into the Idea Collective and help them grow their businesses, that's what it's all about. It's a win for everybody.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Well, Shannon from Ritter, Scott and Shannon in the morning, thank you so much for coming on. Jeff McCarthy, great to see you again, my friend. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, that is pretty darn exciting. And being a radio guy in my blood, that hits me in a way that it gets me real excited. So make sure you tell your friends so other women-owned businesses in Milwaukee can get their opportunity to become a member of the Idea Collective for free for an entire year. Super cool. All right, another big announcement. Like I told you, we got big stuff today. You see this, right? You see right here, you see that, right? Quick Trip is now a partner with the Idea Collective, which is like insane to me. Quick Trip, one of Wisconsin's leading companies, is now a part of what we're doing to help us develop more content, bigger and better events, and deepen their connection inside the small business community. So we're going to do a few things new. One of the things is we're now going to end this show and head over to the Quick Trip After Party. So that's going to be the name of the after party now. So when we're done here, we're going to hop over to a Zoom call, get to know each other. Quick Trip After Party, why not, right? It's perfect. Also, this Friday is Idea Collective Buzz, poured by Quick Trip. So on Friday mornings, once a month, we're going to get together and do some networking virtually. Quick Trip is going to be a part of that as well. Plus, we've got a bunch of fun giveaways that are scheduled each month for the next couple of months. So it's just a great way to help us get the resources we need to put on great big programming, great big events, and continue to build the Idea Collective community. So from right here, thank you to our friends at Quick Trip. And if you need to turn left or turn right into a convenience store, come on, help us out. Stop into Quick Trip and get some fried chicken, get your gas. You know what I'm talking about. Those that know, they know. All right, more stuff. You want more stuff? We have more stuff. How about our top 5 most engaged members inside the Idea Collective for the month of February? Because if you didn't notice, it's March 1st, which is, holy cats, it's March 1st already. But at the end of each month, we announce the members of the community that really make it go. So we go by total engagement, people that posted the most, reacted the most, really helped make the Idea Collective special. So we have our top 5 members inside the Idea Collective. Are you ready? Number 5, Brad Herda. Making the leaderboard, Brad Herda. Proud of you, brother. Nice job. Number 4, Andrea Hubbard. She does a ton of stuff, including public shout out. Last Thursday, when I did the Young Guns main event, she stepped in and slayed it dead for the Idea Collective Idea Slam. So thank you, Andrea. We really appreciate it. Number 3, making the leaderboard for the first time in a while, Cheryl Litvin. Number 2, for the first time, making the leaderboard, Teresa Wilmot. Number 2. And number 1, the king of the Idea Collective, 2 months in a row, Sam Shaw, the most engaged and dedicated member. Sam, Cheryl, Teresa, Andrea, Brad, thank you all for helping the Idea Collective be a really special place for people to get together, collaborate, support, and grow. All right, so I mentioned some of the stuff we have coming up this week. We've got Idea Collective Buzz networking poured by Quick Trip Friday morning at 8. Also, Friday at 11 o'clock, we're doing another round of HR question and answer. The Inspirity HR Huddle is at 11 o'clock on Friday. So if you've got folks you need to manage, come to that interactive Q&A and we can get your questions answered. Thank you to Eric Ness. Eric Ness, seriously? We got Eric Ness. Eric Ness, Jeff, and Shannon for coming on the show today. Of course, thank you to Bank 59, Serendipity Labs, and our new partner, Quick Trip. Love you guys. All right, we're off. Quick Trip After Party Networking. Let's go do the thing. From all the platforms, no matter where you're watching, from Twitch to Twitter to LinkedIn, wherever, go to the link that's on the screen right now, because then we're going to get into a unified Zoom room. We'll have the chance to maybe answer some questions about PPP loans if you didn't get them answered from Eric, or get to know each other, do a little bit of network. Nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Jennifer Buchholz, who's producing the call, the ultimate connector and my business BFF. And thank you for tuning in today. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe. That way you'll see this show every week when it comes on. I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. That ends an action-packed Idea Collective Live. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you inside the Idea Collective.